Hello guys, welcome back to another video with ARC Exotics. Now, in this video basically we're just going to do a little update on everyone and plans, as in stuff moving about, new things coming in, new things going, etc. So what I normally do is film my videos up to about 4 weeks in advance, and then I do 4 videos and release sort of 1 a week or 2 a week depending on, you know, what sort of videos they are lengthwise. My cat's in the bedroom. But basically we've been so busy with other stuff, you know, outside of sort of animals and reptiles and stuff, like work, life and bits and bobs like that. So I kind of sort of neglected YouTube for a little bit. Basically we'll still get a video out like normally once a week, but I just won't be filming up to 4 weeks in advance now. So it's not really a big deal. But like I say, yeah, a little update. A few stuff has changed obviously, because yes, you saw the video last week, but that video was actually filmed probably about 5 weeks ago, so technically a lot has changed around here. So yeah, we should be running through that, and other than that, let's get on with it. Firstly, a massive difference, this guy is getting much more confident. Oh, I say that and he runs off. I don't know. Oh, and he's gone. Well, maybe not. So down here on the floor is the first problem. Basically, I obviously live with my girlfriend here, and there was a little hamster on Facebook which was getting neglected. Excuse me. And yeah, she basically rescued it, and we didn't really plan to have one, and he's got to stay in our bedroom because he can't go in the reptile room because all of the snakes will smell him and want to eat him and kill him. So that's a bit of an inconvenience, but he is super cute. We're going to be getting him in a different tank because this is not really an ideal setup. But yeah, just before anyone asks, am I feeding alive? No, I'm not. He's now a pet, and my cat loves him. So yeah, I'm not feeding alive. I'm not breeding them. It's just a Syrian hamster. So yeah, before anyone asks, that is why that is there. And this little cat is in love with him, aren't you? Right, so with this tank we've had a little bit of trouble. Basically I did have topsoil in here, for those not wondering. For those wondering, that this is Freddo's tank, the Pacman Frog, as you can see, just in there. And that is exactly how he should be, burrowed under waiting for prey. Now he's not been like that. Basically this is now cocoa fibre, the blocks that you get and you basically heat up. That's what is in here, but it used to be topsoil, and when we were spraying and the topsoil just weren't absorbing the moisture very well, and well, yeah, it was just too boggy and watery. But as you can see, the humidity is right as well, because it is nice and condensated on the glass and you can hardly see him from this kind of angle. And he's got a couple of more plants in the background there, so if he does want to hide away in the corners he can, but he's quite happy out there in the middle. So we might try and feed him and see if he'll eat anything. Now, not long, this little guy will be needing a new tank. I mean, he's got enough room as you can see here, but he is getting quite big. Obviously you can only see his head here. But yeah, he's growing at a fair rate, but that will be really annoying because he fits perfectly in this little hole. His temperature gauge is up there in the corner, that's little focus, and the little LED light is underneath. So yeah, that's a bit of a shame really, but what we can do, we can put him into the new reptile room that we are doing up, as you guys know, and maybe we can get another little one to go in here, who knows. But now the locusts are in my room, my cat again wants to play with them just like she does the hamster and everything else. Thanks. So now we have a locust. Let's see if he will eat. Just like that, pops out of the substrate, even though his head was already exposed, and there goes a locust. And as you can see, now you can kind of see the size of him. Now he's moved his substrate about a bit. There we go. But yeah, he has locusts, crickets, mealworms, waxworms, superworms, pinkies. So yeah, he has quite a good diet. so he's doing well. Excuse me. Excuse me. Oi. Leave my locust alone. Oi. Be nice. Be nice. Ow, ow. This thing's 10 times harder, but that's just how cats go. Now, is it focusing? Whoa, that was a quick one. As you can see, that was quite a quick stroke. I had the locust in a bit of a better position, and just like that, gone. But yeah, that is basically Fredo, the Pacman Frog. He is doing good, and he is due an upgrade very soon. Honestly, I don't know what is wrong with my cat. Now, in this little mantis tub that we've got here is actually not a mantis. Obviously, I made this tub. I cut the lid out and put some mesh on it. There is fruit flies in there for food, but what is in here is actually this little guy here. Now, he is so little, and he's actually one of our morning gecko babies. Now, compared to the tub, he's a decent size. He's growing. He's definitely growing a lot, but basically the adults are in an exoterra, and I've secured the back so they can't escape out of the back, but there's one place I don't know how to secure. So just for an example, we've secured all of this bit here. This is a Crested Gecko's tank, but so we've put all netting back there so they can't get out, but I'm worried about them getting through this slit in the glass here and there where the door hinges are. Doesn't look like they will, but they are extremely small. So, but we'll get to them a little bit later in the video and what we're doing with more eggs. But other than that, he has some sticky foot gold and fruit flies. Give him a spray every now and again, and he is enjoying himself. Once he gets a little bit bigger, we will put him into the bigger tank with the other two. Now, as for this tank here, this is my Crested Gecko's tank, Rolo, and like I say, this tank has kind of stopped in updates at the minute. He is actually up there in that corner, but you won't see him. He's got a full bioactive substrate with the drainage layer, the mesh and the Arcadia, but we just need to get him a Jungle Dawn to go on top here instead of this little rubbish LED one, and then he's ready to go and get all these fake plants removed. So hopefully that shouldn't be too long until a little video of him going bioactive. But other than that, he's all good. He's gaining weight, he's eating like crazy. So yeah, he's doing well. Now, moving on to Rolo's neighbour, we have Candy, which is the female lined day gecko. Basically, this is quite a heavily planted tank. Reason being is they're quite sort of skittish and scared, as you can see from the starting clip of Kane, which is the male, who is in a separate tank. So the reason this is so heavily planted is just purely because, like now, she could be on camera and you wouldn't have a clue. Basically, I've got a lot of work to do on this tank. I have to cut some stuff back which is overgrowing. I've got the peace lily back there, which is just browning off at the top, just where it's getting a little bit burnt from all the lights on the tank. But other than that, we have some pretty insane growth, as you can see here, and the colours as well, firstly on this camera and just with the Arcadia and the UVB, just makes the flowers and plants pop. So yeah, this tank is doing well. As you can see here, everything is growing how it should. The only slight issue I'm having is when I feed crickets, which is their main source of food, they sometimes tend to start eating the plants, as you can see here. If it will focus there, which is quite annoying because they take a lot longer to grow than they do for the crickets to eat them. So that's a little bit frustrating, and they seem to love this green plant here. But other than that, no, she is doing really well, and there's not really much to update her on, other than I just need to trim the tank down a little bit. So that is basically all of them 4 tanks, if you will call that one down there a tank. But yeah, morning gecko, Pacman Frog, line day gecko, Crested Gecko, rescue Syrian hamster. So now we'll move on to the next bit. Now, a lot of people's favourite, this is Gus. Gus is our leopard tortoise, and there he is over there. This is quite early in the morning, so his lights have just come on and he's just warming up, as you can see. He's quite a happy little lad, just chilling. But little rundown on his tank. Again, this will be another one that will soon be getting an upgrade. Reason being, he looks like quite a small tortoise for the tank, but obviously he spends a lot of his time outside in the summer months, and now it is horrible in the UK. He can't go outside, so because he can't go outside, he finds himself all day pacing up and down the border here, and then going back and forward and back and forward and back, and he just gets so bored. So obviously there's a few things in there for enrichment, like the log he can go under. He's got his humid box to help with his shell. He's got his chalk there as well to help with his beak and calcium when he wants it. Same with the cuttlefish. He's got a little pot there. You know, he's got a slate for his food. Another bit of chalk and an edible spider plant that he can actually eat as part of his diet. And this little thing that he likes going on. So yeah, he's got a little bit in there, but I feel like with a bigger tank we could, or a bigger table, sorry, we could get a lot more in here. And obviously that takes up a lot of room as well. But as you can see, he's starting to really know our voices. I could probably call him over and he would come now. Gussie! He's thinking about it, he's not sure. But yeah, he's doing really well. As you can see, he needs a bath. We bath him once a day, and we do his soil every other day. And now with his soil, basically everything needs to come out of the tank apart from the actual dirt itself, and you get a jug of hot water and just churn the soil over. Reason being, that keeps the humidity from this light going into it as well, and that requires the correct humidity for him and his shell, and so he can grow properly basically, because if it's too dry he will actually dry himself out, so that's never good. But yeah, there's his little probe underneath him, and he is doing very well. But other than that, like I say, also this time of year it is hard to actually grow plants outside for him. We have a greenhouse just for him to grow plants, which is like this sort of stuff. Don't ask me on the name of it, if it will focus. But yeah, he loves that. But other than that, it's just normal sort of weeds and grasses from your garden. But you know, my girlfriend kind of does the main greenhousey bit and plants and stuff. But yeah, so that is Gus. Now going into what will hopefully be the new reptile room soon. At the minute it's just that section there, and we've still got all of this rubbish to get rid of. But like I say, we've been dealing with some other things at the minute, but obviously we've got all the mantises and that up there. So this is now the Madagascar Tank, which you can see here, and they're doing quite well. Well, they're doing very well. There's so many babies, and when you put fresh food out, that gets absolutely swarmed full of babies. Now I've had to put this little netting over the top purely because them little slits there, babies can get out, and I found that they love going around here. So obviously there's quite a few there as well, and look at the colours on some of them, they're doing really well. But yeah, they like going back around there, and obviously they can go, oh look, there's a couple of babies as well too there. But yeah, they absolutely love it back here because it's nice and tight, and also they've got the radiator as well as a source of heat, hence why they're over that side. And they're the same on that backboard there. But yeah, that backboard there, they're all behind that as well. But as soon as it gets dark in here, they come out and there's just an infestation of them. But yeah, they're doing really well. A few people have said to me I could use the babies as feeder insects, but I'm not sure if I can. But yeah, we'll see. I like them quite a bit. I actually looked at some Halloween ones the other day. Basically that was on Iconic, the lighting's not very good. That was on, I think it was Iconic Inverts on Instagram. Looked at their page, and they've got some really cool ones, and mantises as well. They've got really cool mantises. They've got loads of different mantises, and I know a few people that are getting the awkward mantises from them as well at the minute. and I'm actually after one of them myself. So yeah, once they're back in stock I'll be getting one of them. But the Halloween hissing cockroaches, if I can find a photo I'll find one. But yeah, they're pretty cool as well. I was just trying to figure out if they can go into that tank with them, because they're all the same, they're just different morphs technically. But yeah, have a little look and we can see if that is a possibility. But other than that, that is basically them. And then coming up to here, we've got all these tanks like this. So starting with this one, first of all, these two tanks have the Jungle Dawn going across them. One, because it projects a little bit of heat for them, and two, they're both going to be turning fully bioactive. So in this one is the Gargoyle Gecko. Now you won't see him in the daylight, it's that simple, very similar to the Crested. Basically you won't see him, but yeah, he is in there. He's got his food there, but he comes out at night, obviously like the Crested Gecko. And we've put this little netting on the tank purely because I've read a few things where gargoyles find it harder to stick to glass over Crested Geckos. So we stuck a little mat to the side of it so he can grip hold of it, and we've run it right into the end of the background so he can't get behind it. But yeah, he always uses that, so maybe if you've got a gargoyle and they're finding it hard to grip hold of the glass, you could do the same. Moving on to this tank, we have the morning geckos. Now, like I was saying with the background, how I secured it in, don't know if you can see there, little nails pushed into the background with a net that runs all the way across. And there he is, but you won't be able to see him very well. But if we've just got to zoom out. This is basically their tank, and again this will be going fully bioactive as well. Now, I had a bit of a mistake the other day. I lifted up the roof, the top, and I actually killed one of the eggs. So on these little runners, let me just stand up, on these little runners through here, if it will focus, there is eggs in there, and it is stuck to the bottom of the runner and the top. So as I pulled it, I pulled half of the egg off and it sort of ripped, but there was still one good one in there, so hopefully that will produce. And then in here they laid another two which were on that vine, so I unravelled the vine, carefully removed the eggs. Got to be careful when you do that, because the eggs tend to sort of glue themselves to whatever surface they're stuck to. But yeah, we used a little DIY mantis tank, put the eggs in there, so hopefully when they hatch out they won't escape. But as for the ones in the runners, I'm not sure what is going to happen, because, well, we can't really catch them once they're in there, and I'm very afraid about them getting out of that glass slit. But we'll deal with that when it comes. Now also, we've still got these two little tubs here. Now I don't know what we could use in them, but a few people were saying for the bottom one a Western hognose, but we can see what we can do with them. Now on the top shelf here we have a few different things. So we have our giant Asian mantis, Duke, who is getting very old now, but he is super cool and he is my first ever mantis. So yeah, he is so cool, but he doesn't eat as often, or when he does, he doesn't finish whole meals. So he almost finished a locust, but he kind of left the head and a few legs. And then here we've got the giant African, who again is due an upgrade. He'll be getting a bigger sort of deli cup tub. And then in here we have the ghost mantis, who you probably can't see. No, you can't really see him. He's, well, I don't know, you can kind of see. He's just there. But he's only eating fruit flies at the minute. And then if we move these over to the corner, here we have our temperature gauge for our ball python below. The hot side is what it's on, and the humidity, if it will focus. Yeah, so down here is the ball python. Now, I did consider him for trades, but not sure if I want to now. I kind of like him, but I don't know if he's going to go for the plans of what we're heading for the future, but I think he will. We just need to sort of sit down and think about what projects we'll be doing. But recently at night he's been going absolutely crazy, just churning all of the substrate everywhere. But yeah, he's in there, he's doing a shed, but he's quite well. He's now moved up from large rat weaners to small rats. So he's got one more week of the large weaners and then he'll be on to the small rats, so hopefully he'll do well there. We reinstalled the light so it comes straight out of the vent instead of going long ways, because he kept getting himself caught in the slack. And other than that, yeah, he's doing well. There's not really much to report on that guy. Now, other than that, we've got two more things here. We've got our curly-haired tarantula, which you will never be able to see in here, but he lives in a little burrow down there somewhere. But he's doing well. We're feeding him, watering and everything we should. As you can see, humidity is at a good level, you can tell from the lid. And yeah. Now, moving on to the ants. We had an absolute nightmare the other day. So there was basically like what looked like water in the tube, and I touched it and it actually turned out to be a hairline crack. No idea how it happened. Obviously I've never dropped them because they'd all be dead, so I don't know what happened. But yeah, that cracked, and because we still had the red acrylic on it, kind of kept the two glass bits of tubing together. So that was lucky, none of the ants escaped. And then we just taped it up. We basically told Ants HQ this, and what we're going to be doing is, because they've had quite a few broods and quite a few babies now, what we're going to do is basically upgrade this to the next thing for them, because there's quite a few in there now. So they are doing well, they are eating well, they are having babies, they are doing really good. So obviously, you know, because of this as well, it's an ideal time for an upgrade. So that will be another video coming soon as well. We also changed the sand out to the moss, or as you can see one there, little worker looking for food, foraging. But yeah, we also changed the sand out to the moss, but they enjoy that quite a lot. They can actually get underneath it, unlike the sand. But yeah, other than that, them guys will be getting an upgrade very soon. So a lot of upgrades. Now, as for, are we focused? There we go. As for behind me on the wall, it's quite plain at the minute, as you can see. So what we're going to be doing is all of the sticker boards in the other room we're going to be putting onto here. One, to cover up this mark. Two, I'm debating keeping this unit for something, I'm not really sure what, but we'll see. So the boards will go there, and then the other one can go that side. So that will sort of fill the room up a bit more when you look at it like that. But yeah, like I say, we need to sort the unit out, and then once the unit is sorted and secured, I'm thinking about getting just a big tank here and use that as a unit, and then keep something in the big tank, or have it as an upgrade for him potentially. But yeah, there's a lot to come, there's a lot of thinking about it, so it's not going to be a quick process where you just do it all like that. We're going to be thinking about it and seeing, you know, what is beneficial, and stocking for the future as well, making sure that we've got enough room for everything when it grows to an adult size as well, which is important. A lot of people don't do that. They'll just get it because it's small and it'll fit, and then after that they'll be like, oh, I haven't really got no room for it. So that is another reason why we got a male and kept him in this tank as well, because obviously he gets a lot smaller, and I know a lot of people that actually downgrade their ball pythons to keep them in vivariums instead of tubs because they don't eat. So yeah, he's doing well in that size, but at night time he's always out and about, so I feel like he could do an upgrade, but I wouldn't want to upgrade him and then him go off food. So yeah, it's a bit, you know, but we'll see what's happening. But other than that, that is basically the little reptile room update for now, and that is about it. So a fun little fact, this basically used to be on my door when I was younger. Harry's room, obviously with the snake, because I've always loved reptiles and snakes and that. But yeah, it's now still on my wall, on my door. So what I might do is maybe see if I can keep this and put it in the reptile room, or potentially get another one made, but with ARC exotics, something like that, because it's solid wood and it's actually pretty cool. I've had it for years and nothing's gone wrong with it. But yeah, I think it looks pretty cool still, but I'm a bit of a child, so. But yeah, that's pretty cool. He loves it. Whoa, one of my fingers. Is that good? Is that good? Yeah? You like that? You don't want no more? Oh, you do. Okay. Well, little Gus, the only place he can really come out at the minute is on here. But, yeah, like I say, that reptile room, potentially, I could put some boards down and make a tortoise table, but on the floor, and then it'd have loads of room. But again, that is all something we have to sit down and talk about. Are you done with that? Looking at the camera? Yeah, I think you're done with that. No? You don't really want it, do you? The camera's not even focused. Great. Let's see if this little guy comes to me. Are you coming? Or are you going for a drink? Okay, you're doing half and half. Oh no, he's coming. He's a-coming. Just a little bit slow, aren't you, boy? Just a little bit slow. There he is. Hello. Hello. Hello, do you want to come out? You can't go outside, it's so cold. So, yeah, like I've said, not too much has changed, but there's been quite a few things. I feel like there's been quite a few things for you guys, because obviously it has been a few weeks. So, yeah, like I say, there's a lot of plans which we have to think about before we sort of go ahead and do them. We don't just do them, we think about the sort of all of the precautions, as in tank size, what stuff will we need when it's older. Like the tortoise Gus, he will literally need half of a bedroom size wise, so like an outdoor shed or something like that, or yeah, so, you know, he'll need a lot of room. So, and because they eat 90% weeds, we can't just pick it and place it on a plate for him. That's something that he'll just need to graze on, so he'll need to be outside, and that's all stuff that we have to plan and prepare for in the future, because we're not just going to keep him in the tortoise table forever. He's about the 4th largest species of tortoise in the world. So that's all stuff that you've got to remember when you are buying animals, to anticipate how big they'll get and where they'll go when they are big, because a lot of people don't, and that's what causes a lot of problems. Like the Burmese pythons, you always see them for sale because they've just got too big and people haven't really anticipated where they're going to put them. Stuff like that, same with the tegus and so on. But yeah, other than that, that is basically a little sort of reptile rooms tour. Obviously we've got sort of 2 rooms at the minute, and we're trying to sort of get them into 1. But like I say, that is everything that has changed, so that is basically the video. So thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed, be sure to give it a little like and drop a comment of what you want to see next, so we could do like a Q&A or anything really, anything at all. So drop it down below and we'll probably make a video on it at some point. So thank you for watching, and stay tuned for another one next week.